Hi everyone. Today we are going to see about IP addressing and its classification. See, first thing, what is an IP address? See, in terms of definition, what is an IP address? Basically, IP address is an address given to a machine for identification. See, first thing, what is the meaning of identification? Take for example, we have a machine, okay? Or imagine just we have a group of machines, 3 or 4 or 5. See, for example, if every machine needs to communicate with another machine, what it needs? It needs an address. So that address is called an IP address. See, for example, a human, for example, this is myself, Zahir. If I want to communicate with other people, how I am going to talk? By using the mobile phone. So for mobile phone, what I need a number. So that number is my identification to call anyone in a group of people, 4 or 5 or 10 something. In the same way, when we have a group of computers joined together, if we need a communication with each other, then what we need? We need an IP address. Okay, simple thing. So in terms of definition, how we can say IP address is an address which is given to a machine for identification. And then the next question is, who gives the IP address? Okay, who provides the IP address? See, basically, who provides? In IP address we have two different types. One is called a static IP and one is called a dynamic IP. See, first thing, what is the meaning of static? Static means manually being an administrator, you're going to provide the IP address. Dynamic means through some sort of service called DHCP, you're going to provide the IP address. Anyhow, we are going to see all the practicals step by step in upcoming sessions. Okay, now in this session, we are going to see what is an IP address, how to assign an IP address, either by using a static way or by using a dynamic way. Okay, see, basically how this IP address looks, it looks in this format. For example, 192.168.5.10. An IP address looks in this specific format, in these numbers, four numbers separated by dots. So what are these numbers? And what is the minimum number that we can assign? And what is the maximum number that we can assign? See, totally how it looks in four different numbers by separated by dots. So the next question is, what is this number and what is the range of this number? See, basically every number can vary from 0 to 255. The next question is why? Why it is 0 to 255? That I will give explanation later. See, we used to call it as an octet. See, basically an IP address is a 32-bit address. 32-bit address. Again, what is the meaning of bit? See, by default, whatever the numbers it is identifying, it is represented in decimal format. In decimal format. See, whatever the IPs we are going to identify, because we humans, it is easy for us to understand in decimal format rather than in a binary format. Actually, how the IP should look, it should look in this way. Okay, it should look in this way. But we humans, it is very tough for us to remember these bits. See, basically binary means what? We have only two formats. We have 0 and we have 1. 0 indicates off state, 1 indicates on state. See, basically in simple terms, what is an IP? IP is used to identify a machine within a network, and by default it should be represented in a binary format, but for our understanding we are trying to represent it in a dotted decimal system. Let me little bit go in deep and explain the things. See, take for example any IP address, how it looks in this format, 192.168.5.10, any number. See, now the next question is, while assigning, you should know what is these numbers and what are the numbers that I can assign, what is the minimum number and what is the maximum number. See, for this explanation you should understand how many bits form this number. See, totally an IP address, what is the size of an IP address? If in an interview someone asks you what is the size of an IP, you should tell it is a 32-bit address. That means in an IP address we have 32 bits. Computers can understand only binary language. We humans can remember this decimal language. So for our convenience we are keeping this in specific format called dotted decimal system. See, this specific 192 consists of how many bits? 8 bits. Dot 8 bits. Dot 8 bits. Dot 8 bits. So totally what is the size of an IP address? 32. Total size is 32-bit address. And what is this number? Consists of how many bits? 8 bits. So each number of consists of 8 bits, so we represent it as an octet. Oct is something called 8 bits. Okay. So how many octets are present in an IP address? In an interview they may ask you how many octets are present in an IP address. You should say 4 octets. In an IP address we have 4 octets. So, okay. So we have how many number of octets are there? 4 octets. And sometimes they may ask you what is the range of each octet. See, we have totally 4 octets in an IP address. So someone can ask you what is the range of each octet. So you should say the range of each octet is 0 to 255. Okay. The range of every octet is 0 to 150, 255. Why? Let me give the explanation for this one. See, for giving the explanation, you should know the conversion between a decimal to binary number. For example, what is the conversion for this? Is a decimal number. This decimal number, if I want to convert to binary, what is the conversion? The computers can understand. So for this, let me little bit explain the conversion of binary to decimal. See, for example, as I already told, how many bits are there in each octet? 8 bits are there. So let me take 8 bits. For example, let me take 8 bits. See, one octet. We are going to discuss now what is the range of an octet. I told 0 to 255. Why it is 0 to 255? That explanation I am going to give. For example, let me take 8 bits. So make it half. So why I am taking only 8? Because in an octet we have only 8 bits. So for that I am taking only 8 bits. And then I am going to, for conversion, I am going to mark like 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 6 and 2 to the power of 7. Just imagine we gave these numberings and let me write the values. Any power to the 0 is 1 and 2 to the power of 1 is 2 and then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, 64 and 128. Okay. So just you have to remember these values. So why we are doing this? To make the conversion from a decimal to a binary one. For example, now if I have a number called, for example, if I have a number called 130, okay, how to convert the 130 into decimal? Let me explain. See here, how many bits we have? 128 bits we have. See, we have only 2 options in binary. Either we can consider, either we cannot consider. If we are going to consider, we are going to place the value as 1. If we are not going to consider the value, we are going to place the value as 0. So now, what is my value? 130. See, 130, yes, I can take. I can place 1 and then 64. Okay. So I cannot take because still I require only 2. I cannot take half or something. No, we cannot say. We can make 0. This also we can make 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Why? Because here 2 bits. So now what is the conversion for 130? This is the way how to convert. For example, I have 100. How to convert? 0, 1, 64 plus 32. How much? 64 plus 32, 96. 96 means still I need 4. So I can make all zeros except 4. So now this is the way how to convert. So now if I want to find the range means what? What will be the minimum value? My minimum value will be all zeros in all 8 bits. Okay. So this is my minimum value. And then what is my maximum? Maximum is all ones in all 8 bits. See, beyond this we don't have any value. So this is my maximum value, maximum value. So if you want to write the range, if all zeros in all 8 bits, it becomes 0. And when we put all ones in all 8 bits, we get 255. So if someone asks you what is the range of an octet, you can say 0 to 255. Again, let me repeat. In an IP address, we have 4 octets, and each octet I am going to discuss this. Each octet, because see, many people they don't know that what is the number, what number we can assign. Can we assign 300? Can we assign 250? Can we assign? So if someone asks you what is the range, you can say that the range of an octet varies from 0 to 255. Now anyhow, let me give another explanation for this. For example, let me take a box again. And let me write all the values. And let me write the number, which is 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay, 8 bits. So what is my first number? First number will be all zeros. So the range I am writing now. So what is the value? 0. What is the next value? Next value will be 1 here, and all remaining zeros. So what is the value here? 1. Why 1? Because the 1 octet is on, so the value is 1. So what next? 1 0. That means remaining all bits will be zeros. So then what is the value? 2. Why 2? Because second bit is on. Then what next? See the variation, how it varies. Let me explain here. 0 0, 1 0, sorry, 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. See, these are the only variations what you're going to get. See, then after 2 ones, what it goes? It jumps, this 1 jumps to the third position. That means 1 0 0. Again 0 1 1 0 1 1. That means this 1 will continue. So this is the sequence how it follows. Okay. So now let me write the things here. For example, after 2, what next? 3. 3 means what? 1 1. Okay. So this is 3. So all the remaining will be zeros. So in that way, what will be my last? All ones in all 8 bits. So what is the value? 255. So what is the range of an octet? If someone asks you, you should say the range of an octet is 0 to 255. Okay, fine. So now another thing, see, for example, in an IP address, if someone asks you how many IP addresses you're going to get, so then what will be your answer? Your answer should be how many octets are there in an IP? We have 4 octets. For example, in the first octet, the variation will be 0 to 255 dot 0 to 255 dot 0 to 255 dot 0 to 255. So how many IPs we are going to get? Here 255 combinations into 255 combinations into 255 combinations into 255 combinations. So these are the total number of IP addresses what we are going to get. Or in short, we can say what is the size of an IP address? You can say 2 to the power of 32. Why 32? Because IP address consists of how many bits? 32 bits, so totally. So what is the size of an IP address? So this much big one. That much number of IP addresses we are going to get. But now, for example, if I want to assign an IP address to my machine, can I take anything for my wish? No. There are certain limitations, and what they did, they classified these IPs as different classes based on the usage. See, let me tell you one example why they need the classification and all. Let me give an example. For example, I am taking a class for you. For example, you are the student, one student, okay? So for one student, if I take you the day 1 to a stadium and I am taking a class for you, maybe it is free for us. So where I am standing in the middle and you are sitting far away to me, I am teaching a class like this IP, a huge IP one. I have many seats, but only one people is sitting because my strength is only having one computer. So now, okay, you understood the class, fine. The day 2, I took to a stadium, to an auditorium hall, where we have less number of seats when compared with the stadium. Now, in the second day 2, the efficiency is more. Why? Because you are interacting little bit more than the previous stadium because stadium is too big. My size is only one user, so which doesn't suit for me. It's okay, I understood, but it's okay. The efficiency is not that much. The same thing, the day 3, I'm taking you into a small classroom. That means what I'm trying to say here, always you have to decide based on your size of your network, you should decide you should go for which class. Clear? So if it is in a small class, what happened? You're going to interact fast, as well as the efficiency of the network will be more. See, we are not going to pay any money for any IP address. Again, keep in your mind. In IP we have public IP and we have private IP. That things we discuss later. But just keep in mind, when we want to assign an IP address, we are not going to give any money for anyone to take the IP address. Okay. So what is the problem? Well, let me assign any IP address. No, because as I said, efficiency of the network will differ. Always you should design your network based on the size of the network. Based on that only you can go ahead and you can assign that one. Anyhow, in the next upcoming session, I'm going to explain what are the different classes, what are the different ranges of an IP and all these things. Okay. So let me make the things clear in this. First thing, what is an IP address? IP address is an address given to a machine for identifying inside a network, number one. And what is the size of an IP address? It consists of 32 bits. In terms of bits, it consists of 32 bits, but basically it is represented in dotted decimal system. Clear? And then how many octets in an IP address? It consists of 4 octets. And what is the range of in each octet? It varies from 0 to 255. So these things, if you're clear, that is more than enough for you for explaining what is an IP address. Okay, other things we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions. Thank you. Thank you for choosing Tech Skills. Have a great day.